them. They've got to learn to get out of the gates quick.
And off we go from SoFi Stadium. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. The Steelers offense set for their first possession here, and it's Kenny Pickett who will lead the way, the second-year man, Charles, from Pitt.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw into the hands of Pickens. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. And even 20 yards and a first down on the game's very first play. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent. And they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different long night.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
Now the third-year man, Najee Harris. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. You talk about this Rams defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
That was a nice play right there, but overall this season, it's been an absolute disaster. A total lack of communication on the back end. They need a leader who can put this team, this unit, on his shoulder pads and carry them to the right spots.
Pickett looking to throw on second down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Throwing on third down. Here's Pickett. Setting up the screen. Harris. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on third and long, because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Sly able to put this one through. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start, because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee, as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Well, the Rams ready to go to work, and they will be led by the rookie, a man with some experience playing in big games, the fourth-rounder from Georgia, Stetson Bennett.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Read on that one. The weak spot in a cover 2 defense, right down the middle, because it really stresses the safeties, and they're going to be a little bit frustrated they weren't able to connect on that one.
Going up top for Kupp. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. And Bennett will look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On the return is Peterson. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
You talk about this Rams defense. Now, they've been dreadful against the run. No getting around at number 32, dead last in the NFL.
They have tried all season long to fix all the things that they need to in the running game, and they have been successful so far. I'm wondering if this is a time to just sell out. Make sure you have 8 in the box every time and bring a 9th and sometimes.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Trent Sherfield, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And they just ran the fly route there, didn't they?
You broke it down perfectly. He ends up catching that one and taking it all the way into the end zone.
Well, thanks. It was pretty simple to break down, though. I mean, that's just a guy going, running on the go route, making a play.
Speed,
kills.
Speed, speed. And what does it do?
It kills.
There you go.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Bennett now. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
2nd and 10. Back to throw, Bennett. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now the 4th-year man, it's Cam Akers. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Rams still looking for that first win, 0-6 to start the year. And whatever promise they had to start the season fully evaporated now as they come in losers of 6 straight.
Well, you know what they often said?
Trying to find Kupp, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here's Pickett on second down. That's caught. Allen Robinson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So
touchdown! Pat Freiermuth from 13 yards out. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Rams ready to go on offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively. It's second down. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there, maybe.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. And his struggles, they're continuing. He had 3 interceptions in last week's ball game. 2 more already here before halftime as they take over with a first down. To throw is Bennett. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And the Rams are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
So they escape, so to speak.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. 1st and 10, here's Pickett. Over the middle, complete. That's Washington. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Here's Pickett. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Allen Robinson. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have opened the lead up to 30. Slide for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive.